Hi there. In this video, I'll be demonstrating a new set of tools that were introduced with the recent update to Adobe Illustrator. To try them out, you'll need to have Illustrator version 25.1 and above. So if you haven't, you can download the latest update from the Creative Cloud app. Under the Object menu, you'll find a new Repeat option containing three tools, namely Radial, Grid, and Mirror. Together, we will explore each of these tools, and I'll show you an example of how we might create a logo by combining the repeat tools on a single object. Finally, I'll point out some of the issues you should be wary of and how we might work around one of the major bugs I encountered with the repeat tools. So, let's get started. Right now, I have an ellipse with a height and width of 150 pixels. With the object selected, I'll locate the Radial Repeat under the Object menu. As the name implies, it duplicates instances of the selected object a number of times along a circle. You'll also notice the on-screen controls that show up when the object is selected. The node on the right lets us control the number of instances. We can also control the arc of the circle using the splitter here. So if you want the object duplicated along just half of the circle, you can use the splitter. It also affects the number of instances. Finally, we have the radius control, which allows us to basically control the size of the circle. Keep in mind though that this also controls the angle of rotation, and there's currently no way to constrain the movement. So if you're working in a situation where the overall rotation of the object is of concern, you should be wary of using this control. Instead, consider adjusting the radius from the Properties panel. That way, you can set the radius without unintentionally rotating the overall setup. As you can see, adjusting the radius alone can make for some very interesting results with little to no effort. We can also set the number of instances from the panel, and finally we can change the stacking order of the Radial Repeat by toggling Reverse Overlap. Next, we will explore the Grid Repeat. This tool duplicates the selected object in a grid. I think it's a more modern approach to pattern creation in Illustrator. It's much more intuitive and easier than the actual pattern tool. We can control simple things like the horizontal and vertical spacing using the on-screen controls, and infinitely increase the number of repetitions both vertically and horizontally. In the Properties panel, we get some extra controls in addition to the horizontal and vertical spacing. With the grid type options, we can specify the behavior of the rows and columns of the grid. This can help make your pattern seem a little less patterny. To add further interest to your grid, the flip row buttons allow you to flip alternate rows either vertically or horizontally. The same applies to the flip column options, except that it affects columns instead of rows. Combining these options can help us create very interesting patterns with little to no effort at all. Next, we have the Mirror Repeat. This has been a long-awaited feature, and it's almost a surprise that we are only just getting a built-in dedicated live mirroring tool for an industry-standard piece of software like Illustrator. But anyway, better late than never. The Mirror Repeat gives us two main on-screen controls. The center node controls the distance between the main object and its reflection, while the handles above and below the axis line allow us to control the angle of mirroring. By default, this is set to 90 degrees, but we can change the rotation by dragging any one of the handles. Holding the Shift key while dragging allows us to constrain the rotation to 45-degree increments. The only option available in the Properties panel is the angle of reflection. This can be used to impute more specific angles depending on your needs. The mirror repeat works by generating a reflected instance of the selected object across the mirror axis, allowing you to easily draw perfect symmetric shapes just by drawing the first half of the object. You can also draw new shapes with the pen tool or tweak the pre-existing object and see the live mirror effect in action. Any part of the shape that extends beyond the line of reflection gets automatically hidden as with a clipping mask, and all we see is a join at the point of intersection. One thing I like about the repeat tools is that they are completely non-destructive. So even though you have any of the repeat effects applied, you still have access to the original shape. So you can decide to tweak and adjust the base shape at any point in your workflow and see the resulting effect in real time. If you wish to remove any of the repeat effects, you can click Release under the Repeat menu. Now, I'll show you an example of how you might use the repeat tools to create a logo. First, I'll begin by drawing a 150 pixel circle on the artboard. I'll apply a 4-point stroke and get rid of the fill color. I'll apply a mirror repeat, then while holding the Shift key to constrain, move the circle to the right until we get a shape that looks like a leaf. Double click to come out of isolation, and with the mirrored shape selected, apply a radial repeat. I'll set the radius to 52 pixels. And now I feel like a 2-point stroke will help to show off the intricacies of the resulting shape. And as you can see, this in itself can make for a beautiful logo, but let's take it a step further. Using the split controls, I'll make the arc a semicircle so it takes the shape of a lotus. Notice the number of instances reduces to 9 in the properties panel. Now you can decide to keep tweaking and adjusting as you see fit, but I'll stop here for the sake of this example. Typically, for a logo, after getting your desired shape, it's always a good idea to flatten the object so you're left with an original shape. It makes it easier to further tweak the shape or export to other vector formats for use in other software. So first, I'll duplicate the logo so we can have a backup. Then go to Object, Expand, and this is definitely not the result we were expecting, and I suspect it has to do with the clipping masks that make up the mirror effect. So for some reason in this example there's a problem resolving the mirror repeat with the instances of the radial repeat, but it's just a suspicion. I'll show you a workaround in case you come across this issue. Since the expand command isn't resolving the object properly, we can help by simplifying the work it has to do by expanding the effects one at a time. So first, I'll undo the expand command, then isolate the selected repeat so we have access to the mirror repeat. Then we will expand the mirror repeat. With that done, we can proceed to expand the overall object, which still has the radial repeat. So double click out of isolation, and with the object selected, apply the expand command again and again till you no longer get a dialog box when you click expand. Finally, go to the Pathfinder section in the properties panel and click merge. And now you have a clean, flattened logo. Sometimes you might still have some overlapping parts that didn't quite merge properly. We can easily fix that with the Shape Builder tool. Now, I hope this issue gets fixed in future updates, but I wouldn't hold my breath with things like that. In all, I'm pretty excited about the repeat tools, not just for their utility, but the simplicity of use and performance. The grid repeat, for example, works like a dream, and I imagine it would mostly replace the need for the pattern tool. I'd like to know what you think, so kindly leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to make something new every day.